Have you ever stared at your reflection in the mirror? Eyes red from sleepless nights, body aching from giving everything you had, and still wonder, will I ever feel whole again? Maybe your heart was shattered by someone you trusted. Or maybe, just maybe, the weight of endless responsibilities finally crushed your spirit. But what if I told you that that pain that has brought you to your knees today, holds the secret to your rebirth? On today's POLA Nuggets, we're diving deep into the heart of what it means to be human, grief. But not the pain and the darkness about grief. We're going to talk about how to channel that grief into growth and how you can transform the deepest wounds into sources of strength. I'm your host, Gorgeous POLA, and for the next few minutes, you and I are going to be walking this journey together. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with more details. Let's start from the beginning. What is grief? Grief isn't just about losing someone or something you love, though that's often where it starts. Grief can also be the ache of letting go of something you've always wanted. A dream house, a dream job, a dream destination. That ache of letting go of the beautiful feeling or the beautiful experience that you've always wanted. Grief can also be the emptiness after a friendship ends, or the silent mourning of your own lost innocence. Grief is the shadow that comes after change, especially when that change is not welcome. There is some common myth about grief. I often hear people say, oh, time heals all wounds. No, not exactly. Time gives perspective, yes, but you see that healing after grief, it's an active process. Another common myth about grief is when people say to someone who's grieving, hey, you should move on. No, don't say that. I have been through grief myself, and I can tell you that grief has no timeline. There is no right amount of time to feel sad or lost or angry. Today, after a long journey to motherhood, I now have 2 healthy, beautiful biological children. But oftentimes, when I'm counseling ladies walking the path of baby loss, I still cry with them. Not just for their losses, but also for memories of mine that happened many years ago. Another myth I hear very often is when you say to someone, you're a very strong woman, so stop crying, pick yourself up. Are you serious? Tears are not weaknesses, they are a release. So if you're watching me right now and you're walking the path of grief, I want you to know that whatever feelings you have is valid. It's okay not to be okay sometimes. Before we go further, let me share a bit of my own experience with grief. So 3 months into my marriage, I lost my first pregnancy. While I was dealing with that, grieving that loss and wondering why it happened, I lost my mom 3 months later. So the one person I could tell how I physically and emotionally felt was taken away from me. I felt like I'd lost everything that mattered to me. I wandered through days in a haze, barely able to eat, barely able to sleep. I was haunted by the echo of what I'd lost. Initially, all I wanted was to get rid of the pain, but eventually I realized that trying to erase grief was like trying to erase a part of me. So I did something radical. I decided to listen to the grief. That was the turning point. Why does grief hurt so much, you may ask? I'll tell you why. Grief hurts because it shows us what we cared about. Grief reminds us of the love, the hope, and the connection we had with what was lost. So if you feel broken, it's because you allowed yourself to love deeply. It's okay. Pain is not punishment. It's a sign that something mattered to you. And in that pain, there is potential. So take time out, pause, reflect, and ask yourself, What am I really grieving? Is it the person, the relationship, or the future that I imagined? The moment you're able to name your pain, you transform it to purpose. There is growth in grief. So here's the heart of today's nuggets. How do we channel grief into growth? Here are 5 steps that I followed as I turned my grief into growth. Step number 1, acceptance. Try to accept what has happened. Don't fight your grief. Sit with it. Let yourself feel without judgment. Acceptance doesn't necessarily mean liking what has happened. No, it simply means acknowledging it. It's your reality. I didn't like the fact that my immune system was too strong to the extent of attacking my pregnancies. I didn't like it. No, I didn't. But that was my reality at the time, and I had to accept it. Because the moment you accept your reality, that will be the beginning of your solution. Number 2, expression. Find a way to express yourself. Let your grief speak. Write, paint, scream into a pillow if you have to, play music, talk to someone. Expression is a bridge from the inside out. It gives that freedom feeling. Step 3, reflection. What has grief taught you about yourself? Maybe you've discovered a resilience you never knew you had, like I did. Maybe you've learned compassion for others who are hurting in the same line that you were hurt. In my case, one of the things grief taught me was compassion for other people who were struggling with the pain of baby loss. Step 4, rebuilding. Rebuild yourself. Channel your energy into something new. Volunteer to serve others. Take up a new hobby. Start a project. Anything that gives you a sense of purpose. Anything that gives you a sense of accomplishment, go for it. For example, my difficult journey to motherhood while studying for a master's degree in business administration taught me a whole lot about myself, invaluable lessons that I never knew I could even learn about me. It made me confront my fears. It made me adapt to new circumstances. And it helped me to develop problem-solving skills that now makes me stand out in my career. So when you're faced with adversity, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. It's easy to feel defeated. I understand, I've been there. However, it is precisely those moments that your resilience is forged. The process of overcoming my own challenges helped me to build my mental toughness and my emotional strength today. It is the repeated exposure to hardship and subsequent recovery and bouncing back from that hardship that actually fortifies our ability to handle future setbacks with so much grace and determination. Step 5, connection. Grief can be very isolating, but you don't have to go through it alone. Share your story. Listen to others. Healing often happens in a community. In my case, I had a lot of support system. Apart from my husband, who was very supportive, I had a network where I listen to other people's story. I see how they come out from it, and I learned so much from it. Learn to speak to others who have been through what you're going through. It does help. Let's pause for a moment and talk about more real-life examples. Of course, apart from my story. Think about Malala, the lady who turned her pain into advocacy for girls' education. Or Viktor Frankl, the man who found meaning in suffering during the Holocaust and eventually wrote a very powerful book titled Man's Search for Meaning. There are countless other people quietly rebuilding their lives after several losses. There are parents who start charities after losing a child. There are artists who create beautiful canvases from heartbreak. There are survivors who become guides for others. So your story is just as valid. Your pain can become your superpower. If you've stayed with me through this episode, I just want to say, You've done something really brave. Well done. Grief can feel like an unbearable weight, but today's nugget has taught us, and we have learned, that it can also be a sacred invitation to feel more, to grow deeper, and to become fuller. So whether you're in the quiet ache of mourning or you're beginning to rediscover joy, remember, healing is not linear, growth is not glamorous, but both are very, very possible after a loss, and they belong to you. Before I let you go, I want you to know that grief is not the end. No, it's a door, sometimes cracked, sometimes flung wide open, revealing new corridors of resilience, clarity, and you know what? Unexpected tenderness. On today's nugget, we've journeyed through that doorway together. We've explored how loss can stretch us, shape us, and whisper truth we didn't even know that we carried. And I hope, wherever you're watching me from right now, I hope you feel just a little bit more permission to grow. Grow from the ache rather than shrink from it. Next week, we go deeper. We go deeper into the unseen. You know, the kind of loss that doesn't always get named? The friendships that quietly dissolve. You know, the chapters you had to close without applause. Those silent battles that you fought. We're calling it the grief we hide. Invisible losses and silent battles. Because healing isn't reserved for what we can see only. Until then, give yourself some grace. Thank you for your time today. I hope someone has learned a lesson or two from today's POLA nuggets. If you like the content, please subscribe to Gorgeous POLA TV. And don't forget to share this content with your friends, loved ones, and everyone in your network, because you never know who needs the healing that we're talking about. I am Gorgeous POLA on all social media platforms. So the next time you log on to your socials, feel free to follow me and I'll follow you back. Till I come your way next time, take care and stay healed. Bye. It's Gorgeous POLA.